Well, hello and welcome to, well, so we haven't played Rimworld in a hot minute, and actually, I think the last time I've been playing it, I played it as streaming, but I want to check out the new Odyssey stuff with you guys today because I'm not going to be streaming anytime soon, and I figure doing a new colony just to kind of show this off because some of you guys, I don't know, Rimworld is one of my favorite games, and I feel like some of the later DLCs have been slept on. So we're going to play. I have all of the DLCs, by the way. I have Royalty. I have Ideology. I have Biotech, Anomaly, and now Odyssey as well. So let's check this out. The new one is the Grav Ship, which basically starts you on a Grav Ship. So let's go. I'm going to choose Randy, as I always do. I'm going to do adventure story on this one, so at least we have some time to do stuff. Oh, and reload every time. It's fine. One of the things that there's like a lot that's changed with this new update, and there was a big 1.6 patch that actually updated a bunch of core game mechanics as well, including allowing your freaking pawns to walk in straight lines. I don't know how else to explain that. If you played the original back when it first came out, you'll probably have noticed that your pawns never walked around. Like they would walk like this. Now they walk like this. It's great. I'm going to go just create a system. I'm just gonna do the basics. I'm not gonna do anything else on this one. And we're just going to do no rules. Actually, maybe I should just turn this off this time because we're not really gonna be focusing on that. So you start out with 3 people. Let's she's actually not too bad looking at her. She's 14. Oh my god, she's 14. Whew. But she's got a lot of stuff. Nervous is a problem. Let's see. What else do we have here? 40. Definitely don't like you. Slowpoke's not too bad. We got cooking, plants, and animals with this guy. That's not bad. Let's reload her. I'd really like somebody who doesn't like hate. Why? Leave Ben alone right now. I can't have that. Social. How are we doing? We could probably use somebody with some construction. There we go. Petty or pretty. Gorman. I don't like that. Oh, come on. Staggeringly ugly, but there's no construction on that one. I really need somebody with construction. Do we have anybody down here who has construction? Not really. Wow, did we really not roll anybody with construction? I have played this game where people have not had construction, and it's a really rough start. Okay, well that works because at least he's got something. Because honestly, that was some shenanigans. So let's show this off. I'm going to play for 30 minutes probably. You screwed up, and now the mech hive wants you dead. Its terrifying murder machines will arrive soon. Gather the valuable grav light panels, then use your grav ship to flee to a safe location on the planet below. To launch, blah 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 on the world map. Okay, from now on, wherever you go, the mechanoids will eventually find you. To stop them, use find and defeat the mech hive itself. So this is your little ship that you start out with. I have played. Maybe at the end I'll show off what I have already done. I'm gonna grab that. These are all the grav light panels, and these are, I want to grab that steel if I can. I definitely want these because then we can extend our ship. Oh, and we can also grab that silver, please. That would be great. Let's go ahead and get all that. Yeah, so we have a limited amount of time. We have 11 hours to get out of here. So let's get going. But I want to grab all this stuff first. And all this stuff first. And yeah, if I zoom out here, you can actually see the planet below. That is where we are. I wonder where this game is going to start me. Also, it started me in winter. That seems to be a common thing in this game. We start out in winter. Okay. Perfect. Now, one of the things here is one of the new overlays is vacuum. As you can see here, there actually is no, this red basically means that the vacuum is 100%, rather you want it to be 0, so that you can survive in it. Humans cannot survive in a vacuum. These apparently have a 0 vacuum. I don't know why that is, but that's a problem. Let's go ahead and launch out of here. Let's see, what do we have? 20, 42, 28. Okay. This is going to be terrible. I think piloting skill is based on your intellectual. Now, one of the things that noted there, once you launch, that item, that place that you were at will vanish. So, and we have some new places here. We've got glow forests. We've got these areas here, which are lava fields. We also have, I don't know, yeah, here we have, no, it's a lava field. Here we've got Scarlands, but we only have a limited area that we can land. So it is what it is. We also have, if I press here, these little things will pop up. And if I hover, it says increase plant life, lake with island. And then if you hover over, it actually will tell you more about it. Some of the areas are actually very cool, like decreased lava lake. So this one has a lake of deep lava. Let's see here, for example, it's got a valley, mixed biomes. Now, one of the things, sometimes when you click around, there are other things like there's wild psychoid plants in this area, but it's not listed. So just keep in mind that. Abandoned colony, recently abandoned colony. We are really close to pollution though, and I don't really want to be close to pollution. Let's see here. Caves. Increased plant life. That actually might be really useful. Mixed biome. I'd like to be in an area with some sort of mountains, or at least a little bit of mountains, because I'm gonna need to do some mining, so let's see. So where was that? That was the increased plant life. We're gonna go ahead and choose that. Now I'm kind of glad that we were in the more of an equator situation, so we are like in a year-round type thing. So that's actually great for us because we'll be able to grow things while we're down there, given the fact that it's currently winter. That's not guaranteed. The last game that I was playing, we actually started out at the South Pole, and it was terrible. Okay, I'm gonna need a ton of copper. Yeah, you can move and actually rotate your ship on how it's gonna land. I have a sneaking suspicion we're probably gonna land. Is there any sort of... Not really. I was looking to see if there's some rich soil down here, but it's like right next to the wall. You know what? That's probably fine. Let's see if we crash or overheat our engine. We overheated our engine. So basically we have to wait a little bit longer. In fact, we have to wait 11 days in order to actually take off again. So let's see here. The first thing I'm going to do is set up some growing zones because we're going to need them. Let's see. Let's do cotton plants here. Those can be potatoes. That'll be great. We've got wild stuff. That's going to be great. Now, as you can see here, we are very limited in our space. So we don't have things like, you know, beds. So we're going to need to build those. And actually, it's going to be the first thing that I actually build. It's going to be very tight in here. Don't you worry. We will be fine. And we have 400 grav light panels. Now, if you click on the grav engine, you can see there's a number here. And that is how many substructures this can handle. Now the substructure is that base, is that flooring, and that's what you need. So like if you take off, you have to have that in the locations. Your walls need to be on substructure, and if it's not, then you're not going anywhere. So let's actually go ahead and lengthen this. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and this circle is how far out you can build. Now I do want to get beds. I want to get some recreation variety as well. Let's just go ahead and plop a horseshoe pin for right now. How are we doing temperature wise? Why is it so cold inside? It's warming up. Okay, and let's go ahead and set a schedule as well for everybody to work. Because as usual, they will not... That's not what I wanted to do. I want to do recreation in the morning as well. All right, so Barton has high hopes for your new grav ship and wants to christen it with a good name. What should your grav ship be called? The Unstoppable Falcon. The Murderous Kestrel. That sounds amazing. I think my first ship was called, well, not my first ship. My longest lasting ship is called the Black Junker, I believe. I've been meaning to paint it eventually so that it will actually be black. I liked the idea of it being a junker. So now these here are the thrusters. As you can see here, you can't actually have substructure behind them, and we're gonna have to change that, but for right now it's fine. Also, we're gonna need steel. Do I not have the stuff to actually grow cotton? Yes, I do. Let's go ahead and go into work and do some general modifications that I always do. Okay, so I guess you're going to be doing doctoring. Let's go ahead and set you to construction as well. You to hunting. You to handling. We're going to have everybody set to do certain things for now. It looks like everybody can plant, grow, and whatnot, so that's great. Cooking is going to be a problem. I'm going to have her do cooking. Let's go ahead and move. Let's actually build. So this is a hull, by the way. It's a little different than a regular wall. But yeah, it actually is airtight, so it stops oxygen leaking into space. So that's actually very important. Now, currently, we actually have something new. We do have vac suits, basically vacuum suits. It is exactly what you think it is. So very important that we eventually, oh, there's actually some, could have actually been over there. No, it's fine. We do actually need to worry about getting some clothing so our vac suits stay good, because they do cost a lot in order to get them created. So we don't want to play too much around with that. Are you kidding me, game? As you can see, we have increased our ship. So now if we click on the grav engine, you can see the blue area is well, our ship. And I think so this is our home area. I'm actually going to turn that off and clear out around our ship. There's just no point to this. There we go. And I'm actually going to move our shell. Oh, a solar flare, huh? I'm gonna move our shelves to the back. You don't have to, but I want to open this area up. And also, I want to get rid of these random chunks that are in here. Let's get rid of this. There we go. That gives us a little bit more room to work, which is great news for us because we definitely need it. Okay, let's just go ahead and let them do their thing. Other things that are fairly new. Oh, hello. What had killed? Oh, well, actually, I can tell you what some of the things that are new. We've got a wolverine right there that killed that squirrel. That's new. There's a bunch of new animals. I think there was like 66 new critters, if I remember correctly. It was pretty significant, actually. And rather than doing that, I'm gonna do a field stove right there. Yeah, I'm not, oh, that's also new. So now if your production stuff is not in an appropriate building, then you will have issues. Let's see, are there any other critters on here that are new? We've got minks, cute. We've got quail, also cute. We actually have those out here where I live. They make the, I wish they made the noise that they make. They make a really cute hooing noise. Birds are now a thing. So we've got crows here. We also have sparrows. There's bluebirds, macaws. I've seen emus, if I remember correctly. I do. Yeah, we actually didn't have any components, so I'm glad we went and got some. We're also gonna need a lot of steel. So, like a lot of steel. So you all can haul and clean. Yes, so we're good there. I don't need art right now. You know what? I'll just leave it. It'll be fine. Other things, if we look into research, there is a whole bunch of new stuff. Basic grav tech, which is a lot of just the things that we can already make. tanks for holding chem fuel, because that's what our ships use to move. Pilot console, that's how you pilot. Extenders and stuff. Nothing that we're going to talk about too much, but all of these are important. But there's also standard, which makes bigger thrusters and whatnot, and also advanced things like actually making the grav light panels, which we can't currently do, and signal jammers, which we'll need later. Simpler things as well, though. They added fishing, and I actually really like fishing. You put a little spot into a body of water, and then you get fish, and I think it's used as hunting, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. What else is in here that we are kind of new? I think most of the rest of this stuff is pretty much all the same. The mech techs are from, I think, biotech, so nothing of that is new. Still very useful, though. I really need them to, like, finish up what they were doing. Let's see. I could use some steel. Oh, we're finally moving the steel into where it belongs, so I actually don't need a lot of steel. Let's do a little bit of mining, though. Obviously, cleaning is really, really important in this because you're such limited space to start with. it's kind to start off with is pretty it's pretty rough, I will admit. It's just so limited. I'm hoping we'll get to see. Oh, do I not have? Okay, let's build a shelf specifically for meals, and we'll put that as important. Ambrosia sprouted. Ambrosia is nothing to do with this game. I think that was added. It was added with a different game, but it's basically a drug that you can eat, and it gives you a little boost. Yes, you can become addicted to it, but honestly, it's like the least of my concerns when it comes to drugs. It gives you a warmth, and as far as I can tell, it doesn't actually do much else to you. Even when you're, I was gonna say addicted to it, but yeah, when you're addicted to it. This does actually create a little bit of light, as you can see here, but it does fade quite quickly. What kind of ship shape should I have on this one? I think maybe we'll do an arrow. You really can't move this. Well, I mean, you can move this, but really you want to leave that in like the center of your ship. My last ship, I was actually going to make a circle. I didn't. I made it like a suppository shape. I guess the best. It looked like a pill. Like it was very interesting. My choices and like how I did that was bizarre. I was like, oh, that's not really what I intended, but it's fun nonetheless. And I think we have a little bit of chem fuel, but we are going to need to deal with that. The best way to do chem fuel is probably the biofuel refinery at first. We're going to need a bigger ship for that. And we also do really, really need... Let's make our ship a little bigger. How much? We have 350. Oh, we have plenty. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, and in order to, like, if you want to get rid of these, you use the remove foundation. Now you see those are red. That's because where they're currently, and now they're blue, they were not attached to the main ship, so they wouldn't have come with you if you had lifted off. You gotta be careful with that sort of thing. Just make sure that you are being cautious. Let's see. So I think I want to give us some space. Build one more. I think I'm going to do more of a pointed shape. There we go. We're going to do an arrow shape, I guess. We are definitely going to need more steel, though. Steel, honestly, I think one of the interesting things about this is you always need more supplies, but things like, because you are actually moving around so frequently, things like steel actually end up being not really in short supply. You end up with a lot of it, be it because you are going to things in space. Let me actually show you guys the world while we're building this. If I go to the world, I can actually go to orbit, and there's like a bunch of different things. There's these asteroids, there's these stations, and you'll unlock more places like that as the game goes by. And one of the more interesting things is a lot of those areas have exactly what you would expect. They have a ton of steel. They often have a ton of plasteel, which is very useful. Okay, let's go ahead and reinstall. I don't actually think you need this tool. Like, you could trade it out for something else, but we'll move it over there. Let's go ahead and disassemble this, and let's go ahead and expand our home. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it's something that I prefer to do. Prefer to extend my home on my own, so I don't have to worry about it. One of the best things to look for, like, as you can see here, you can get these steel walls and doors and just like disassemble them. And because most locations that you land do have something that you can disassemble or steal, or depending on if you're raiding enemy areas or if you're just landing in places like this, you end up with a lot of stuff. Really, I run out of steel quite a bit, especially if I'm doing mass upgrades and resetting my ship. But really, come on, there we go. But really, it ends up not really being a problem. Ceilings are just the same as the previous game, so be careful with how you move around. Do I want to... I'm going to leave that for right now. Whoops. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. I got to choose my faction name. That would have been great for me to see that I was doing that. Alright. Do we actually have... Come in here. I didn't actually equip my guys with anything. We should have... Do we not have another gun in here? We do have a mad hair. I don't? Oh, yes, it's right there. Where is this critter? Oh, there it is. Are you shooting the ship? Can you not? Okay. Let's hunt this. Let's just get rid of that. We can carve it open. I did keep that, right? Oh yeah, it's right there. It's hidden amongst the weeds. It's very difficult to see. Let's grow our ship a little bit. I'm gonna do the same on this side. Actually, let's cancel that. There we go. And we're about, so over 200 out of 500. It's actually not too bad. Maybe I want to grow out one more out so we have a little bit more space. Kind of to start with, it's very rough, I will say. Do we have enough steel to actually build this? How much time do we have before we can launch? 6.5 days. That's a lot of time. Kind of looking at how long I've been playing versus how long I want to spend on this. I think I've given you a pretty good idea of what is that tree doing. So yeah, as you can see, these walls create like a line rather than being like that, which I kind of like. However, you do get some weird graphical stuff occasionally where things end up like this tree is actually in the space. Like the wall is here and here, the tree is here, and that's a problem. I'm about to get yelled at by my cat. We're still working on getting him to be a indoor cat, because he was an outdoor cat for probably around 5-ish years. We think he was abandoned by a neighbor. And He still spends some time outside since we're trying to convert him. It's taken a little bit longer because he gets, if I keep him inside for too long, he gets a little bitey. So that's a problem. He's also very clingy, which is not something I'm particularly used to. All right, so, but I think this is a pretty good idea of how this works. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up, maybe I'll save this for later. Probably not. Maybe I will. I'll save it. But let me load up another game where I can actually show you kind of how my new grav ship, my further along grav ships look. All right, let's take a quick look at this. This one, how many hours do I have in this game? All right, let's check this out. So this is the black junker I was telling you guys about. I just rescued Ace, apparently. So this here I've played for 30 hours on. I'm playing community builder. We've had quite a bit of stuff. I haven't lost anybody, which I was impressed in. But things have been very busy, as you can kind of see. And this is kind of how I've set things up. Other things that are new, like the passenger shuttle, so I can actually use shuttles myself. This is mine. Yeah, and you can kind of see, like, you still have the pilot console. I've got large chem things. I've got things like fuel optimizers, grav ship shield generators. I've got oxygen pumps. I only have I have 4 large thrusters. Your ship can handle 6, so I need a couple more of those, but I need to go to the I need to go get vac stone. Let's actually close everything up and I can show you what it's like to be in space, because we did show off some space but not really. Other things I do have is like the orbital scanner, which looks for orbital stuff. Is there anything else of interest? I'm actually done researching in this particular version. I've spent a lot of time on this. We've got a grav core power cell, which passively generates power, which is something that we really, really need in this game. Let me tell you, if you're running a ship, you absolutely need that. And let me just take off so I can show you guys. That's not what I wanted to do. So I can show you guys what it's like to be in orbit. Oh, I'm going to be taking somebody? Who am I going to be taking? Are they in? Who's inside my ship? That's a good question. I don't actually see anybody. Bowman. Lucas, where? I don't see. Are they like in? Who? Where? Oh, you. Get out of my ship. Thank you. Okay, moving on. They must have been resting. Now, first thing, if you might actually notice that my circle of influence is much greater. So that's actually really fun. Let's head up to... That's not what I wanted to do. Let's head up to... I was hoping to go just to like a regular location. Like a regular asteroid. But this is what it's going to be. So you can see the space launching stuff is always the same. Yeah, there's limitations to how close you can zoom in, which annoys me. And there's other things up here, as you may note. We're not going to talk about those, but there are other things up here. And you get to choose where you land. Yes, you can hang off. There's no possible way for me to fit. Well, it looks like accidentally caused everybody to have grav nausea. As you can see here, This is vac stone, and that's what you need to create a lot of the stuff. Also, there are things like chunks, and you can usually find gravlite panels out here. This is actually just something in here. You have to unlock the ancient blast doors in order to get in. The music up here is different. You may notice this is green. My ship is very well set up against the vacuum, and you can actually see if I hover over down at the bottom left, 100% vacuum and 0% vacuum. I have these vac barriers, so you can pass through them without causing the air to seep out, which seems to work pretty well most of the time. And additionally, you can set up, and I have set up for people to be spacefarers most of the time. I've noticed that if they can't survive outside, they will not go outside, which is really, really useful. Nope. Love that. And yeah, as you can see, they have vacuum exposure and they died. So you have to be careful and make sure that you keep them inside. I'm not going to be saving this. I don't really care all that much. And yeah, if I zoom out, as you can see, it's nighttime, so time has changed. It's kind of hard to see. Panels work in the orbit, though it is 103 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So you do need to make sure that you keep heaters inside in order to stay warm. I've got a vulture. I've got a macaw. Yeah. So that is kind of the overview of the Rimworld Odyssey. I generally really enjoy everything that they've kind of changed and added. This is probably one of my favorite expansions so far. When it comes to the expansions, I do think I love biotech and I've loved ideology. Royalty was hit or miss for me. I enjoy Anomaly for what it is, but I have a tendency to be very careful. Like, I don't play it all that often. And I don't use all the stuff. There are some really good things in that, like, that add to the other packs, which I really like, but I really haven't. I've played through it on my own, but it's really not my favorite. But Odyssey, I've definitely very much enjoyed how this game, it just fits in so well. And you can have kids still. And it's a lot of running from the mechanoids. But eventually you do have to go fight the mech hive, which apparently shuts it down in general. So you won't be having to deal with the mech hive in the future, which honestly, that's great, because one of my worst, they're one of my worst enemies, honestly. But I would highly suggest solar panels for your ship, and just to have some, because it creates pretty reasonable amounts of energy, and you can create a freezer pretty quickly. Double walls, also highly suggest. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know. How are you guys feeling about the new Rimworld updates and DLCs? Have you guys been playing? How y'all doing with this game? Do you ever play Rimworld? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. It's one of my favorite games. I think I have well over almost 1,300 hours in this game. So I have a problem, which is just how it goes. I will see you guys in another episode.